Hi, I'm Nick Shell with Family Friendly Daddy Blog, and if you're watching this video, there's a good chance that you either saw my post last week entitled, "At what point can I admit my kid turned out fine having never been spanked?" or you're just watching the video and maybe you're about to go read it. But either way, I'm raising a question today. And let me be very clear. I'm not here to tell anybody how to parent their child. I'm not here to say that, oh, you should definitely spank them or not. That's not my call at all. Really, to be honest with you, this is just about me. This video is just about me. It's not about you. It's just about me saying, I've never spanked my son. He's nearly 4.5 now. He's got no behavioral issues. He's doing very well at school. And he's never been spanked. So the question ultimately becomes, is he the exception to the rule? It's not like, is it that if you don't spank your child, therefore they're not disciplined? Or is it that my son just happens to be born an angel and he just never has any discipline problems, which I know is not true because I'm his dad. And I know that we definitely discipline him. So real quick, going back to my article, and I'm saying this not to try to brag by any means, but for 3 years I was the daddy blogger for Parents Magazine with the database. And during that time, I learned from one of their professional doctors there, as far as what they recommend. If you're not going to spank your child, what do you do? So this is the basically 5 things I learned from doing that, and that I apply. Not saying I'm the perfect parent by any means, and again, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just asking a question. At what point is it okay to admit that this way's been working for me and my son? At what point is that okay? So 5 things. Number 1, ignore attention-seeking behavior. Number 2, pay attention to good behavior. Number 3, redirect your child. Number 4, teach consequences that make sense. And 5, use timeouts for serious offenses. So I've managed to never spank my son, and he's okay. He's not a brat. When he goes out in public, he can behave. He doesn't get into fights at school. There's no issues there at all. So I guess it could be easy for someone to say, well, yeah, well, you just wait till he gets older. You wait till he gets in school. Okay, so what if he's 7 or 8 and still doesn't have problems? Well, you just wait, because eventually he's going to be a teenager. Okay, so what if he becomes a teenager and he's still okay, and he's not getting in trouble, and he's getting good grades and all this good stuff, and he's sociable? What if? Okay, well, you just wait until he turns 18 and he's out of the house, and then you'll see how he is. Okay, but what if he is? And what if he ends up being a good human being and he doesn't get into trouble with the law, or whatever it is that we're looking for the standard of what a good person is? What if he gets all that way and he's still a good person and has been a good kid? Then what do we say? Do we say, well, he was just the exception to the rule? All kids are different and he was just a good kid. All right? I follow you, I do. But is that insinuating that it takes having another kid to prove that this is a valid way of doing things? So do I now have to have another kid to prove that this is effective? Okay, and what if that kid's good too? What if I have 4 or 5 kids and they're all good? At any point will I be able to say, this was effective for me and I didn't spank my child? I'm thinking no. I'm thinking no matter what happens, if my child ends up being a good kid and a good human being, I'm thinking it will never validate the fact that I didn't spank my son and it was okay. It was an okay thing to do to not spank him. That's how it is in my head. So I wrote this blog post. You're welcome to read it. It's at familyfriendlydaddyblog.com. I'm putting the link there, in the comments there for this video. But I do want you to just think about that. Again, I don't care what you do. It doesn't matter to me how you parent your child. But I do just want to raise that thought. If this is effective, can we admit that? Could we admit that it's working for me? And could we admit that not all kids who are not spanked are brats? Because my kid's not a brat. I want to be very clear about that. I believe in disciplining my child. It's something I've always believed in. And it's something I implement every day. It's something very important to me. Like right now, he's about 4.5. And I know the thing I can do that will motivate him the most to behave the right way and to listen to my wife and I is his stuffed animals. If he knows that he can't take one to school the next day, his whole world falls apart. And in fact, the last time I had to do that, I'm the one who takes him to school. He was just, I could bankrupt of emotion and knowing how to feel. And for the whole day, he felt so punished by that. And it was sad to see that, but at the same time, there was misbehavior leading up to that. And I know that that's what would have really reached him. Striking him physically wouldn't have had that same effect. It would have confused him. And now I feel I've got that much more control over him because I've done that a few times and taken away his stuffed animal for the day. To him, that was the world to him. And I took that away. So anyway, that's what works for me and that's what works for him. But in conclusion, I'm going to ask this question one more time, the title of this post. At what point can I admit my kid turned out fine, having never spanked him? So your thoughts on that, and please, again, as you comment, please keep in mind, I don't care if you spanked your child or not, and I don't care if it's the best way or the worst way. I don't care about that. I'm tired of the boring argument whether we should spank or not spank our kids. I just want to raise awareness that there's parents that don't spank their kids, and their kids are okay. Can we just admit that? Is that something we can agree on? To kind of move this conversation forward instead of back and forth with spanking or not to spank. That's boring. People have already done that. Can we just move forward with this conversation? Can somebody give me some validation at all on this that's not just oh, you can't spank your kids no matter what? Because I'm not that guy. I don't tell people what to do. But I ask questions to help us to think more progressively about all this. Thanks for watching this video. I'm looking forward to your comments. I really am. I just want us to move forward on this. How about it? Nick Shell, Family Friendly Daddy Blog. Thank you so much for watching. See ya.